What's up, dummies? So today's video is gonna be a banger because we have another video where we're gonna listen to the scariest sounds ever found in space. I did this like a week ago and it was freaking awesome hearing all the creepy things in space. So we're gonna hear some more creepy stuff. Let's go.
This is the scariest sounds in space tier list.
Okay, so scariest sounds in space tier list. We're gonna listen to all of these sounds, some lightning, some black holes. Oh my gosh, let's go. Headphones are advised. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a pulsar star. I think this is a star that's rapidly moving. This is real footage of it. Bro, that actually sounds creepy. If I actually heard
Sounds
that,
like a bouncing castle generator. D tier.
What? 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 This dude said it sounded like a bouncing castle, bro. What type of bouncing castle were you bouncing on, bro? Your childhood must have sucked. All right, this is MK2. Oh yeah, yeah, that's gotta be S tier. Oh, like that's gotta be the scariest. Bro, imagine you like wake up and you just hear this. Like, if you heard this outside your house, you think you're dying. Bro, this is creepy. What is this? Another planet that we just discovered? Yeah, yeah. Yep, put that in S tier, quickly. I knew it. Okay, this is Mercury. Oh, God. What's happening on Mercury? What's happening to make that sound? Oh, God. Sounds like a...
Mercury sounds like this with someone like this. Still
No,
a bit
it
unsettling,
doesn't.
So C tier.
See, this guy is horrible at ranking, bro. You're telling me this is C tier? It sounds like somebody's trying to talk. That is creepy, bro, especially because it's a planet where we don't even know if there's life. This guy's tweaking,
So
bro.
C tier.
I'm gonna do my own ranking. Oh my God. How does this thing sound like that? Okay, yeah, this is going S tier. I don't care, that's creepy. Let me know every single ranking of yours too in the comments. I'm gonna compare our ranking. I think that's S tier. It's gotta be because that sounded like how does this planet even make that sound? Is there someone on the planet like playing an instrument? That would be fun.
Sounds like something Skrillex would have made in 2010. Pretty strange for a moon. B tier.
B, okay. Deimos. Ooh. It's pretty creepy. Ooh, I can hear like voices. Yo, yeah, that's kind of creepy. I'm gonna give that A tier. No, B tier. B tier. Sounds like someone's breathing. I'm gonna say B
is
tier.
the Greek personification of terror and dread, and I'm pretty sure I heard a kid crying. S tier.
That's not. That didn't even sound like a. Okay, Comet 67P. Huh. This is what a comet sounds like. That's actually weird. So comets, I'm pretty sure those are big space rocks just flying. It's not a planet. It's just like a rock, like a broken off piece of a planet. But how does it sound like this? It sounds like something you would hear if like you just randomly one day spawned into like a rainforest. Like you just woke up one day and somehow you got teleported to like a creepy rainforest at night. Imagine that. You're in a creepy rainforest and you're like, yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. I just did some good work right there. This is pretty creepy. I'm gonna give it a B tier. B tier for me.
Some people find this sound soothing and relaxing.
What?
I think it sounds like one of these guys from The Last of Us.
Oh my gosh.
A tier.
A tier, okay. The lightning on Saturn. That's what this sounds like. So that's what lightning sounds like on Saturn? It sounds like somebody's like farting or something, or like sitting on a bunch of piece of paper.
It's basically white noise. People have fallen asleep to this.
I'm gonna give that a D tier. Yeah, it's not that creepy. Oh my gosh. This is what a black hole sounds like. Yeah, nah. This is S. I hear people talking. Like I hear people like, do you hear that? It sounds like hell, bro. Yeah, this has gotta be S tier. Do you hear this?
This is exactly what I thought a black hole would sound like. A tier.
A? Bro, he's tweaking. All right, Jupiter. This is cool to hear what like other planets sound like. What is that, bro? Like what could be making that noise on these planets, bro? It's kind of crazy how we have the technology to hear the stuff on the other planets, but like what's making that noise on Jupiter, bro?
Jupiter straight up sounds haunted.
Yeah, that sounds deadly. Oh my God, that's the creepiest planet I've ever seen. Oh my God.
There is no way I'd want to be going anywhere near that.
I'd give this like A tier. I don't think it's S tier.
S tier.
What? This kid's tweaking. The Big Bang. Ooh. Wow. That's what the Big Bang sounded like? So the Big Bang was when like the whole universe was created? Jesus, dude, imagine you were there and you just heard this. Sounds like
Not
low
really scary at all.
farting.
Just pretty cool, actually. D tier.
Gay mead? What is a gay mead? I think this is another planet called Gaymead. Oh, Ganymede. I thought it said Gaymead. I was about to say, I'm never going there. Ganymede. Oh, that's actually getting creepy. Okay, hold on. Nah, bro. That is an alien.
Sounds like there's a lot of high-tech stuff going on.
Yeah, it sounds like there's an alien trying to communicate to us. I'm gonna put that at... It's not S tier because it's not super creepy, but it sounds like someone's communicating, so I'm gonna go A tier for this one, for Ganymede.
Ganymede. Very sci-fi-ish. C tier.
What? Apollo 10 whistle. Wait, it said it's hard to hear. Okay, let me shut up.
Music even sounds out.
Who the hell is talking?
Hear that whistling sound?
Wait, there's people on the planet called Apollo 10 who can speak English? How did I not know this? This is S tier, bro.
It's pretty hard to hear this sound, and while it's not the scariest, these guys are hearing this firsthand.
Wait,
on the moon.
what?
B tier.
Those people live there? Okay, this is Mars. Ooh, this is the closest planet to Earth, I think. So there might be people there. Let's listen. It's kind of creepy. It kind of sounds like something you would hear like late at night, maybe 2 a.m. and you're outside and it's windy. I don't think it's that creepy. I'm gonna give it a C
Thought Mars
tier.
would be scarier. Honestly, it just sounds pretty windy.
C
D
tier. Whatever. Ooh. Eskimo Nebula. Oh my god. Yep, this is S. This is S. S tier. Easily. Because, do you hear that person like screaming? Yeah, nah. There's people on this planet, bro, and they're screaming. That is S tier 1000%.
Stars had their own language. This will be it. A tier.
A tier? Bro, it's literally people screaming. Like, how is that A tier, dude? Okay, this guy's tweaking. Amalthea. Oh my gosh. This is a space rock. That sounds like this. Okay, a lot of people might say this is not creepy, but to me, this is creepy. Imagine you're just on this planet, right? Or you're on this rock and you just hear this. Bro, this is creepy, bro. This is going B tier.
It's a pretty weird sound,
B
but
tier.
the longer I listen to it, the more I like it.
B.
B tier.
Stop copying me, bro. Hold on. Okay. Phobos. Oh, this is kind of creepy, bro. Oh my god, it's getting worse. Okay, yeah, S tier. I don't care. It sounds like a bunch of people are like
A moon
screaming.
named after the Greek god of fear and panic.
Wow, this is named after fear or panic. Yeah, it kind of does remind me of like, it does try to make me panic, bro. It's like, ah! Yeah, for sure.
Fear and panic. Just a normal hallway, and
Oh my
then
gosh. Oh my god.
yep, great name. S tier.
S tier. Okay, this is what Saturn sounds like. So this is another planet in our solar system. Oh. It's pretty creepy. I would give it a C tier. Maybe B. B tier. It just kind of sounds like wind, maybe? I think it sounds like wind, so I'll give it B tier.
I didn't think a place that looks like this would sound like that.
Wow,
A
that's
tier.
what it looks like. Okay, I got another video here with more sounds. This is what it sounds like when two black holes collide, bro. This says gravitational waves, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know any of that words. Dude, so two black holes colliding with each other. Wait, what? What? This is like kind of creepy. Ooh, they formed into one. Okay, this is what Saturn's rings sound like. Oh, he's even got like the technology right here. I don't know what any of that means, but that sounds creepy as hell, bro. All right, the next one is leaving the solar system. So this is what we would hear if we left our solar system. Imagine you're in like a telescope. What? A telescope? This one's called a singing comet. This sound was detected by ESA Rosetta spacecraft. The exact cause of this sound is unknown. Bro. Yeah, what is happening on... Maybe somebody's like on that comet, like drilling, or maybe there's like a woodpecker just... But I don't know, bro. That's actually pretty creepy. Oh God, it's changing, bro. This thing has different voices. Oh God, it's getting higher pitched. Bro, okay, you guys need to prepare yourself for this next one. This was the creepiest one I've ever heard. Okay, what's the next one? What is this? Horsehead Nebula? What is it? Look at this, there's a face! Oh my God. Okay, I don't know what a Horsehead Nebula is, but that's gotta be S tier, bro. Okay, what is this? A Leonid's meteor shower? This is what a meteor shower sounds like? What? Oh, so this sound isn't directly from the meteor, but it's produced by the interaction of the meteor particles with the Earth's ionosphere. Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. But it sounds creepy. This is what a meteor shower sounds like. It's like, I just killed that. Wow, that was good. Okay, what's the next one? All right, this is Charon. This is the moon of Pluto. So y'all know the planet Pluto? This is the moon. Okay, yeah. What is this? Why does your moon sound like that? Why does your moon sound like that? Wait, I'm kind of intrigued. What does our moon sound like? I'm gonna see if this video has our moon because I don't think we ever heard what our moon sounds like. Okay, the next one. What? I'm never stepping foot on that. This is the Neptune's moon called Nereid. It should be called what the hell, because what is going on there? Is somebody playing like a arcade game? Ooh, a lightning strike on Saturn. Okay, I think we heard this in the last video. It sounds like a bunch of fart. So let's go to the next one. This is the Jupiter's moon. Okay, can we hear our moon? I don't give a damn about Jupiter, baby. Okay, check this out. I think I found something. I want to figure out the moon of our moon. Okay. Ooh, this is Uranus's moon. So you guys know Uranus? It's that moon. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Okay, where's Earth's moon? Okay, I found it. This is our moon. I mean, it's kind of creepy. I could imagine being in like a back rooms. Like put yourself in the back rooms right now and listen to this. Oh, where am I? Ah! What's up, dummies? So today's video is gonna be insane because we're gonna be listening to the most terrifying sounds that were ever recorded out in space. This is gonna be an educational video and a scary video all at once. Let's try not to get scared at these weird space sounds. Okay, so this is a Helix Nebula. This is the sound of a dying star. Oh my gosh, so this is what a dying star sounds like. Wait, what? That sounds like people screaming. This is what it sounds like when a star's dying? Oh my gosh. Okay, this is what Earth sounds like when you're outside of Earth. NASA satellites captured radio waves generated by lightning. It sounds like birds, bro. That's what Earth sounds like. Ooh, what is this? Pulsars are rapidly spinning neutron stars that emit beams of... So this is what radiation stars sound like? It sounds like a damn woodpecker. Okay, this is what interstellar space sounds like. Whoa. This is what it sounds like when you're like far out in space. Yo, I would not want to be stuck in space listening to that. This is a supernova. Oh my gosh. A supernova is a very, very big star. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's an exploded star. A star that exploded and it was huge. Wow. This is quasar. What's that? Quasars are supermassive black holes at the center of distant galaxies. So it's black holes in galaxies far away. This is what Saturn sounds like. Yo. Imagine being on Saturn and you just hear this. What the heck? There's gotta be something on Saturn making this noise, bro. I did not know that it sounded like that. This is what Jupiter sounds like. Yo, why are all these so creepy? Why do all these planets sound creepy, dog? I don't like this. I'm never going to Jupiter in my life. Oh my gosh, what is this? A white hole? This is what a white hole sounds like? A white hole is a theoretical region of space that ejects matter. So I didn't know there was a such thing as a white hole. I thought there was only black holes. Jesus Christ. That is creepy sounding, bro. So this is a different video. I clicked on another one. This one is ranking space sounds by how scary they are. So we gave the moon a 3 out of 10. I would give this like maybe a 4 out of 10. It's still kind of creepy. It sounds creepy. We're gonna rank how scary we think they are too. Okay, let's go to the next one. Ariel. This one is basically nothing. So this is a planet named Ariel. This isn't that scary. I would give this like 2 out of 10. It's still kind of like scary. I feel like you would hear this whenever like someone's chasing you. Helix Nebula. It sounds like screaming. Oh my gosh. Yo, okay, that's like an 8 out of 10. That does sound like screaming. That's what this sounds like. Okay, Saturn's rings. I could fall asleep to this. Facts, you could fall asleep to the sound of Saturn's rings. But it's weird how the rings make a sound. Like, I want to stand on the ring. Is it like an onion ring? Dude, that'd be dope. The Milky Way. So this is our galaxy. This is where we're at. Do you hear that? This is what it sounds like, our galaxy. I give this a 5 out of 10. Kind of scary. You can hear a little sound if you really try. Hoag's object. This one is weirdly calming. Wait, this is what it sounds like? Okay, I don't know what that is. I think it's a galaxy. It sounds like a song. This is awesome. A black hole. This is what a black hole sounds like. Oh yeah. Yeah, something, nah. Something's insane. This is insane. Nah, I'm gonna give this a, yeah, I agree, 8 out of 10. It sounds like people are like drowning, like, or like speaking in a different language, like a ghostly language. Okay, this is another planet called Titan. What do you mean 1 out of 10? He said 1 out of 10 scariness. I think this is like 5 out of 10 scariness. This is creepy. There's gotta be some weird stuff going on that planet for it to make this sound. The Big Bang. It sounds like a slowed down fart. This is what it sounded like whenever the Big Bang happened? Oh my gosh. I'm hearing the fart now. I hear the fart. Okay, yep. That's weird. The lightning on Saturn. This one's disappointing. What do you mean this one's disappointing? This is what the lightning on Saturn sounds like? That's creepy sounding. What the? I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. It's like Orion Nebula. This is actually scary. 7 out of 10? Okay, yeah, this actually sounds pretty creepy, like something you would hear in like a scary movie. Dude, what? I can't believe all these sounds are coming from these planets. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. It's pretty scary. I haven't heard one that's like 10 out of 10 scariness yet, but I think we're going to soon. I don't know why. Star KIC 122682200. Something feels wrong here. This is a star? Yeah, this is creepy. Why is it like, it's like, yeah, something's like happening on that star, bro. Supernova. This is just majestic. No way. Supernovas sound like this? Dude, this is natural music. This is music before they ever made music. I'll give this a 0 out of 10 on scariness. This is awesome. I'm just gonna listen to it. Dude, it's crazy. NGC 2392. I don't like this at all. What is that? Is this like a sun on a different planet or something? It looks like a mummy or like a ghost sun. What is this? I think these are all like planets and things in space. That one's creepy. Ring Nebula. This feels peaceful. I think a nebula is like a star that exploded, maybe. I don't know what a nebula is. I know you guys are way smarter than me when it comes to this stuff, so tell me what a nebula is. I'm gonna give this one a 2 out of 10. It's still a little creepy. Like, I know you hear the creepiness. 2 black holes colliding. Oh my gosh. That's what it sounds like when 2 black holes collide with each other? Why does this sound like weep, weep? Like you would think when black holes, big black holes, like I'm talking about big black holes, boom, explode together. It only sounds like bleep. What? No way. Okay, this is what Mercury sounds like. 8 out of 10, breathing. Why does this planet sound alive? I think I do hear breathing too. It kind of sounds like Darth Vader, like. Nereid. This one feels really weird. Is this like a space rock? That's what it sounds like? Ariel, this one doesn't scare me at all. Okay, we saw that one. Phobos. This is unsettling. What is this, another space rock? I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. This is the scariest one so far. What is this? Why does it sound like... Okay, Janus. There's something named Janus. More wind, nothing special. Yeah, I agree. Miranda. What even is this sound? So this is another planet. It's kind of like the moon. I'm trying to my best to hear it. It's kind of creepy. It's not that creepy. I don't think 9 out of 10 is accurate. I'd give this like a 4 out of 10. It's not even that creepy. It just sounds like wind. Nah. The Phobos was way scarier than that. Earth. Okay, we heard this before, but I want to hear it again. Birds. It does sound like birds. I said that earlier. Why does the space, like this isn't what it sounds like on Earth. It sounds like what, like when you're like flying in the space next to Earth, that's the sound that's coming from Earth. So maybe there's birds in space. Okay, Charon. This one creeps up on you. 7 out of 10. It sounds like a piano, like someone just like, it creeps up on you. Is something gonna happen? Dude, that's actually creepy. I'm gonna give that a 6. This is what the sun sounds like. This is cool. 2 out of 10 scariness. Surprisingly boring. Ganymede, what is happening here? Yo, this is number 1. This is 10 out of 10. This is alien stuff. Okay, I don't know what Ganymede is, but this is a planet apparently that they found and they recorded sound from it. Yo, what? I gotta listen to that again. I don't care. Do you hear this? Okay, nah, that's creepy. That's actually creepy, bro. Mars. Okay, this is what it sounds like on Mars. What are those big sounds? Okay, Deimos. 8 out of 10 scariness level. Nope, I don't like this. Okay, so this is another scary planet. It looks like a potato. I don't like this sound either. It's a creepy sound. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10 as well. I agree. Neptune. 4 out of 10. It sounds like a plane is passing by. Dude, I always like Neptune. I don't like the color blue that much, but the Neptune just looks really nice. Elara. Bro, what? There's a planet that sounds like this? It's called Elara. How are they getting these sounds, bro? There's gotta be something going on in space to make these sounds, bruh. Gotta be. MK2. Makes moon. This is straight up terrifying. 10 out of 10? This is pretty creepy. It's a moon on a different planet called MK2. This sounds ghostly. I think this is close to 10 out of 10. Oh my gosh. It sounds like things are like planes are flying over, but it's like UFO planes. Like, oh my gosh. Varda. Static and winds again. That's a planet? Dude, that looks cool. Why is it like scorched? Why is it like... Okay, Metis. Unexpectedly scary. What is this? Looks like a dang tissue. What is that, a space rock? How do these space rocks make these noises, bro? I think there's somebody, there's gotta be some type of life on these rocks and on these planets that are making these sounds, trying to communicate with us. Because think about it, those freaking people, not people, but those other aliens or whatever they are, like other life, they don't speak English, they don't speak Spanish, they don't speak language, they talk through like vibrations and stuff. So they're probably trying to talk to us in their own language, bro. Okay, what is this? Huya. It does sound like a TV. What do you mean 3 out of 10 creepiness level? That's creepy as heck. A planet making this noise? How is this planet making that noise? Bro, space is so much scarier than I thought. Black hole, 8 out of 10. Ghostly moan. It does sound like people are like... Triton, 7 out of 10. It sounds like hell. Oh my God, this one might sound like hell. It does kind of sound like, bro. Oh my God, it got worse. Dude, how, bro, this planet, I'm never going to this planet. Triton, it literally sounds like hell, bro. Nah. What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to the most disturbing planets ever found. Look at this one, bro. LHS 11, is that an eyeball planet? What the, we're gonna learn about some crazy planets that I've never even heard of. Let's go. Try not to get scared. Let's go.
This is a rocky world about the
here's
same
the first
size
one.
as Earth, and scientists recently noticed something very unusual about it. The
This thing's called YZ Ceti B. Who named this planet that? Okay, let's
planet is sending out a strong and repeating radio signal, which is seen as a glowing umbilical cord connecting it to its star.
Wait, what? This planet has an umbilical cord? A glowing umbilical cord? Like the umbilical cord that you have when you get born and they chop it off? What?
Happens because YZ Ceti B has an extremely powerful magnetic field. It's so strong that it actually crashes into the magnetic energy of its own star. As the planet travels along its path, it pushes right through the electrically charged gas of the star. WASP
That's
121b.
weird. Okay, here's the next one.
This is a giant gas planet, slightly larger than Jupiter, but it is trapped in a nightmarish situation. The most
Really?
disturbing part of this world is its weather. The extreme temperature difference between the hot and cold sides creates unbelievably violent winds that blow at tens of thousands of miles per hour.
Wind, that's 10,000 miles per hour. Bro, let me check how windy it is right now because where I'm at, it's super windy. Look at this, bro. It's windy right now, but it says that the wind is 10 miles per hour. This planet has 20,000 miles per hour.
These
Bro,
fierce winds
what?
scoop up the metal gases from the day side, including iron and the exact same materials that make up rubies and sapphires, and violently blow them over
Wow.
to the cooler night side. When these metal
What?
gases reach the dark side, they cool down and form thick clouds. This means that in the pitch blackness of the planet's night, there are massive and chaotic storms where it literally rains droplets of liquid rubies and sapphires.
Bro, what? It rains ruby and sapphire? Like gems, bro? I would like to go to that planet and just catch all of it and then bring it back to Earth and sell it and then become rich.
To make this strange place even more surreal, scientists discovered that the water high up in the planet's sky actually glows. In the upper atmosphere,
They have water in the sky on this planet? Dude, this is a disturbing planet. What the? Water in the sky?
the heat is so extreme that tiny particles of water vapor become supercharged with energy. Instead of just
What?
blocking light, these boiling hot water molecules release their own energy as infrared light. We cannot see this type of light with our own eyes, but to powerful space telescopes, the water looks like it is brightly glowing, almost like fireworks
What? This planet has
lighting up the
fireworks?
sky. Gliese
All right, here's the
870
next one. This one's called Gliese 876. Is this one like exploding? Is this an exploding planet? Oh, the next one is the eyeball. Look, okay, we're about to
B6D.
lock in. Let's go.
This
Let's learn.
planet is often called the Endless Volcano, and if you stood on the surface of this planet, the ground beneath your feet would never stop shaking. This world is
Really?
a rocky planet that is larger than Earth, and
Wait, this is a endless volcano planet? What? Imagine if people lived here, bro. You're just always getting volcano splash.
it circles very
lava
close to
on
a
you.
small star. The real nightmare for this planet comes from a combination of gravity and its neighbors. It is trapped in a massive pulling contest in space. On one
What?
side, it is being pulled tightly by its own sun. On the other side, it is being yanked backward by giant gas planets.
What type of planet is that? It looks like a green apple candy, caramel apple candy,
in
bro.
the same solar system. This constant push and pull physically stretches and squishes the entire planet like a giant rubber ball. Because the hard rocky surface of the planet is constantly being bent and broken by this extreme pulling, the
Huh.
inside is kept completely melted. The result is a world of
Dude.
non-stop and massive earthquakes. It also causes giant volcanoes to erupt all over the planet, constantly flooding the ground with hot melted rock
Oh
under
my
a dark red sky.
gosh.
LHS
All right,
1140.
here's the one that I wanted to see. LHS 1140b. It looks like a freaking eyeball.
This is arguably one of the most disturbing eyeball planets. This is a rocky planet larger than Earth that circles a quiet and small red star, but it is almost completely frozen solid. One
Wait,
side of the
what?
planet always faces the star, while the other is permanently turned toward the rest of space. Because of this, the dark side is a massive shield of ice. However, right in the dead center of the
Oh.
side, facing the star, is the exact spot where the heat is the strongest.
Wow, so the sun just blows the heat into
In
the,
the dead
eye.
center
Look at
of the
this.
side, facing the star, is the exact
So that's why it looks like an eyeball, because the sun is just spraying.
spot where
Let's
the
learn
heat
more,
is the
bro.
strongest. In this one specific area, the ice melts into a giant ocean of water that is over 2,000 miles wide. If you looked
Huh.
at this planet from space, it would literally look like a giant eyeball staring without blinking at its sun. The dark center of the
Wow.
eye is the deep ocean, and the white part of the eye is the endless frozen
Bro, so it's just frozen ice and then a big water.
wasteland surrounding it.
What?
J1407b.
What? Look at this planet, bro. Why? It's the tiniest planet ever, but it's got a bunch of rings. Who named it? J14? Okay, I gotta learn about
This planet can be renamed as Super Saturn, or the one with sky-devouring rings. That's because its rings are actually 200 times larger than the rings around our Saturn. They stretch
No.
out over 50 million miles wide. To help you understand how big that is,
Oh my
imagine if you
gosh.
replaced our Saturn with J1407b. Its rings would take up a huge part of Earth's sky. The most disturbing
Whoa.
thing about this planet is what happens when it moves in front of its own sun. The rings are so incredibly large and thick that they block out almost all the light from the star. If you were on a moon circling this giant object, the rings would create an eclipse that blocks the sun for 56 days.
Wow,
in a
that
row.
would look cool with the rings blocking the sun, but it would block it for 56 days. Can you imagine having no sunlight for 2 months straight? It's just blackness.
You would be stuck in total freezing darkness for nearly 2 months, simply because the giant rings got in the way of the light.
Wow.
HD
Ooh,
189733b.
that one looks cool. How could this be disturbing? This one looks dope. It looks like a freaking like gumball, like I'm a jawbreaker, dude.
If you were to see this planet from space, it might look like a beautiful deep blue marble, very similar to—
I just said that!
However, that's completely deceptive. This planet
Really?
is a giant gas world, slightly larger than Jupiter, and the beautiful blue color does not come from water, but from
Where
an
does it come
atmosphere
from?
filled with silicate, which is the same material used to make glass. In the extreme heat, this material melts into
Whoa.
drops of liquid glass. The planet also has winds that blow up to 5,400 miles per
Damn!
hour. This means that instead of gentle water rain, the planet experiences fierce storms, where molten glass rains sideways at incredible speeds. To
Bro, molten glass is raining at incredible speeds. Glass? Glass that is molten, which means like hot glass? Ow!
make matters worse, scientists recently used the James Webb Space Telescope to look closely at the planet's thick atmosphere and found a chemical called hydrogen sulfide. This is the exact same chemical that gives rotten eggs their terrible smell. This means that not only is the planet extremely hot with dangerous sideways glass storms, but the entire world also reeks of rotten eggs. As if that wasn't enough, the planet orbits incredibly close to its sun, so the temperature on the bright side of the planet reaches around 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit.
Damn, bro. So this cool looking planet smells like rotten eggs and it has molten glass. Dude, now this is what I was expecting when I clicked on this disturbing planets video. What is this planet? Why does it have two bigger planets outside of it? What?
This planet's star has one of the most peculiar and disturbing elements ever. It basically pulses like a heart. It physically swells up and then shrinks down very quickly. Because of this, its heat and brightness change over the course of just a few hours. This planet is trapped extremely close to this pulsing star, and because the star is constantly changing size, the planet goes through a particular cycle. The atmosphere is blasted with extreme heat and then slightly less heat over and over again. This creates a messy and unstable sky. It also causes a strange weather pattern called a temperature inversion. Normally, air gets colder as you go higher up, but with a temperature inversion, the air actually gets hotter the higher you go into the sky. At the top of the sky on WASP 33b, the temperature reaches over 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Bro, what?
Proxima Centauri b.
Okay, what is
This
that
planet
one?
is incredibly famous because it is the closest exoplanet to our own solar system, sitting just over 4 light years away. For a
Wow.
long time, people hoped it might be a second Earth because it is a rocky world that sits right in the habitable zone of its sun. However, the reality of this planet turned out to be completely terrifying. It orbits a tiny red dwarf star that is unbelievably violent. Unlike our relatively calm sun, this little star constantly erupts with massive bursts of energy called stellar flares. These flares are hundreds of times more powerful than anything our sun produces. These violent explosions happen almost daily, blasting the planet with extreme levels of deadly radiation like X-rays and ultraviolet light. During one recorded event, a massive flare actually made the star 14,000 times brighter in just a few seconds. Scientists believe that over billions of years, this constant bombardment of extreme energy has likely completely boiled away any oceans and violently stripped off the planet's entire atmosphere.
Wow.
HD 106906B.
Okay, what did he just say, bro? Let me replay that.
HD 106906B.
HD 691210109. What's wrong with these people? This looks like a cool planet. Why would they name it HD 611061916?
This
What
world
does
is a
that
giant
mean?
gas planet that is about 11 times heavier than Jupiter, but its size
11 times heavier than Jupiter?
is not what makes it disturbing. It's sometimes called the exiled planet, and that's because the unsettling part about this planet is its extremely lonely and unusual location. It orbits a pair of twin stars, but it sits incredibly far away from them. To understand how far, imagine the distance between the Earth and our sun. This planet is over 700 times further away from its stars than we are from our sun.
Bro, what? That planet is 700 times farther away from their suns than we are.
Putting it way out in the freezing, dark edges of its system.
Dude, that's probably the coldest planet ever.
According to the normal rules of how planets are made, HD 106906b should not even exist where it is. Planets usually form from a thick, swirling disk of dust and gas that surrounds a young star. But out in the deep space where this planet lives, there was never enough material to build a planet that huge. Because of this, scientists believe that this giant planet actually formed much closer to the warmth of its twin stars. However, the intense gravity of those stars eventually
Pushed
acted
it
like
away?
a slingshot and violently kicked the planet outward. It was nearly thrown completely out of the star system to become a rogue planet. Instead of escaping, it's likely that another random star happened to pass by, and its gravity pushed the runaway planet just enough to lock it into an extreme, tilted orbit. It now takes 15,000 years just
Look
to
at
go
how
around its suns once.
Bro, 15,000 years to go around the sun once. Look at those suns, bro. That looks like somebody's watching. WASP 12b. Why do they always name these planets WASP? wasp. Do they have like a bunch of wasps on those planets?
The scenery on WASP 12b is one of the scariest ever. Even though light hits this planet, almost none of it comes back. That's because WASP 12b is so dark that it reflects at most about 6% of the light that reaches it. However, the reason
That's the
behind it is
blackest
what
planet
makes
ever.
the planet really disturbing. WASP 12b is a gas giant nearly twice the size of Jupiter and about 40% more massive, yet it orbits its star in just a little over 1 Earth day. It is unbelievably
Bro, every single day it goes around its star? That means you would be 100 years old in 100 days.
close to it, roughly 1/43 of the Earth-Sun distance. Because of this, the planet is tidally locked, meaning one side is stuck in permanent daylight while the other never sees the star. On the day side, temperatures rise to around 4,700 degrees Fahrenheit. At this heat,
Imagine cooking a pizza at 470,000, whatever he said. Because most of the time, people cook pizzas at like 400. Imagine doing it at 4,000. Oh
normal
my
clouds
God, your pizza
cannot
would be
form
done
at
like
all,
that.
and materials that might usually
No, that would be cool. Let's go to those planets, throw a pizza, and then grab it back, and you'll get it.
reflect light don't
cooked
survive in a
perfectly.
stable form. So hot rugs of gas basement showed his years left, which in a closer is stood on the planet is incredible. You would never experience twixilar. However, of Methuselah sky, TOI exposed kind on this planet at all.
Next one.
TOI 849b.
What? TOI 849b. What is this one? It looks like the moon. Oh my God, look at these two planets. We're gonna see those later. Oh, those look cool.
TOI 849b is the naked skeleton of a planet. It's a candidate Chthonian planet, meaning it may be the exposed core of a gas giant, a world that once had a thick envelope of hydrogen and helium, and then lost most of it, leaving the skeletal remains behind. However,
So this is a skeleton of a planet.
what makes this planet even stranger is its anomaly. A planet this massive should normally grab huge amounts of gas while it forms, because its gravity is strong enough to pull in hydrogen and helium from the material around a young star. That is the usual path toward becoming a gas giant. This planet does not look like it followed that path, or it did, and then something brutal happened. The Discovery
Whoa.
team framed two main possibilities. Either it is the remnant of a Jupiter-like planet that lost almost all of its atmosphere,
Yeah,
or
I
it is
think
a
that's
failed
what happened because it actually kind of looks like a skeleton.
TOI 1853b.
Wait, what? TOI 185? Why does that look like metal, bro? That's actually a planet?
We could call TOI 1853 the Iron Bullet. This planet is about the same size as Neptune, but it is much more solid and heavy than Earth. This means it is
Bro.
composed almost entirely of heavy metals, and the reason for
What?
this is particularly interesting. Scientists believe this planet survived a massive crash in space. It probably started as a normal planet. Then, it was hit by another giant object moving at incredibly high speeds. The crash was so violent that the lighter parts of the planet, like the water, the rocky surface, and the gas, were literally splashed
Right.
off into space. What is left behind is just a bare metal ball. If you tried to walk on its surface, it would feel like being crushed by a giant invisible hand. Due to its mass, the gravity is much stronger than Earth.
Bro, this is a metal ball, and because it's a bunch of metal, the ball is super strong. It's a strong ball.
Beta Pictoris b.
What is Beta Pictora b? What the? That looks like a freaking, what?
If you stood on this planet, your body weight would trick you. Beta Pictoris b is a huge gas planet that is over 10 times heavier than Jupiter, but
Wow, so I would be like 1,750 pounds.
what makes it unique is that it's spinning at an unbelievable speed. A single day here lasts only 8 hours, and the equator is spinning at over 62,000 miles per hour. Because it is
Damn!
spinning so violently, the outward push from all that speed is physically bending the planet
Bro,
out
so if you're on this planet, you're gonna be like spinning around. Oh
of
my
shape. It is
gosh, I'm
not
never
a
going there.
perfect
All right,
55
here's the
Cancri E. Janssen.
What? 55 Cancri E. Janssen. This is one of the creepiest ones we've seen so far. It's a red ball with like a bunch of like hairs coming
This
off
planet
of
is known as a super-Earth, as it's a rocky world like our own planet, but it is much larger and heavier.
it. Yeah, that looks like countries, bro. Are these countries? Do people live on this?
However, that's roughly where the similarities end. This world orbits so incredibly close to its star that it completes a full year in less than 18 hours.
Bro, 1 year is 18 hours. Bro, you could have a birthday every day.
Because it is so close, the gravity of the star locks the planet in place. So one side always faces the burning star, and the other side always faces
Wow,
the
yeah, that
freezing
is
dark
really
of
weird.
deep space. On the day side, the temperature reaches over 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It is so hot that the solid ground is completely melted. Instead of oceans of water, this planet is covered in a massive global
Instead of water, it's lava.
ocean of boiling liquid rock. For a long time, scientists
my
actually
gosh.
thought the inside of the planet might be made mostly of solid diamond. However, new tools like the James Webb Space Telescope have recently shown a more violent scene. Scientists now believe the boiling lava is actually creating a thick, heavy atmosphere of gas that completely covers the world. That's because extreme heat causes the magma ocean to bubble and release gases continuously.
There's a magma ocean, so their ocean is just a bunch of lava, dude. That's crazy.
It is even possible that the melted rock itself evaporates into the sky and rains down as solid stone when the winds blow it over to the cooler night side. It's basically a real-life version of hell-themed levels in video games. Ogle 2005 BLG 390 LB. Video games.
What is that
Ogle
called?
2005 BLG 390 LB.
Ogle 2005 BLG 390 LB. What? Who thought of that? They must have had so many Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Pop-Tarts that morning, Sugar
This one
Rush.
holds the record as one of the coldest and most empty planets ever
Really?
found. It orbits a tiny and incredibly dim type of sun called a red dwarf star. However,
Red
it
dwarf.
sits so far away from its sun that it receives almost no heat whatsoever.
Wow.
Because of this, the temperature on the surface drops to a freezing minus 364 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, bro, the coldest I've ever felt was like maybe -10, and that was like, bro, -364, you're done. You're cooked like that.
At these extreme temperatures, chemistry as we know it completely stops. If this planet ever had an atmosphere, which is the layer of gases like nitrogen or oxygen that normally surrounds a world, the brutal cold would have caused the very air itself to freeze solid. This frozen
Bro,
air...
the air itself is frozen solid. So wait, what? So when you go there, the air, you would actually be able to see the air because it would freeze. So everything would...
would have then fallen to the ground as a layer of permanent snow. If you were on the surface, you would be surrounded by absolute crushing silence and pitch darkness.
Bro, that's crazy. That is creepy. What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to the most terrifying things in the universe. The thumbnail shows a bunch of stick figures and stuff, so I don't know if this is gonna be like scientific, if we're gonna learn something. If we are gonna learn something, welcome to science class. Let's go. Let's figure out what's so terrifying about the universe. Let's go.
Number 10, space junk. As it turns
Okay, so I think he just said we're gonna start with the scary ones and then eventually get to the most terrifying things. So the first one is space junk. What the hell is that? Like space is balls? What?
Now, our planet is not the only thing we treat like a giant trash can, since space is slowly becoming a giant landfill as well. There are currently millions of pieces of man-made junk in Earth's orbit, with over
Really?
30,000 of them being over 10 centimeters long.
Look at this. This is a cat. There's a pizza. Bro, there's actually stuff in the universe. How do you put junk in the universe? Did they put a bunch of junk on like a spaceship and then just throw it out? Or did somebody like have like a strong arm and they just threw it? I don't know.
Long, or around 4 inches. Now, the reason why this is so scary is that the number of junk is only growing. But this really shouldn't worry you, since I'm sure we'll eventually get around to cleaning it, which usually only happens when it becomes a big enough problem that our government is forced to do something about it. You see, the growing amounts of space junk are becoming a major problem for space exploration and travel, and NASA has already had to course correct 32 times since 1999 to
Damn, I didn't even think about that. So when the spaceships are going up, they might accidentally run into like some junk in the space that we threw up there. Bro, what the hell? Why are we putting trash in space? It's already bad enough. If you go to like a big city, you see trash all over the ground. Bro, now we got trash in space? Oh my
avoid
gosh.
satellites and space debris. Now, you're probably thinking, this is an issue that you will never have to worry about, since you never leave the house, let alone plan on traveling to space. But as it turns out, the space debris might just come to you. There have been many
Really?
reports of large pieces of metal, spaceships, and satellites landing on people's property and homes. But I'm
What?
sure the majority of the pieces go unreported, since they most likely land in the ocean, where
Yeah,
they blend
makes
in with the
sense.
rest of the trash.
Wow.
Number 9.
So stuff is falling from space every day and it could just randomly fall through your house? Oh my god, this is crazy. All right, number 9 is going to get
Cosmic
scarier.
voids. As we leave Earth's orbit and
Cosmic
begin to
void?
look further out into the universe, we quickly begin to discover all sorts of terrifying things. But before we get to those, I want to focus on nothing. I literally mean nothing. You see, there are vast spaces in the universe that don't contain anything at all. No planets, no stars, no moons.
Yeah, I heard that most of space, like 99.9999% of space is just space, nothing. Like there's nothing, like it's just blackness.
Cross them. Unless, of course, you were blessed with being an introvert, since we are completely immune to this weakness. Now, I know these large numbers are very hard to grasp, so let me just show you what this all looks like. Here's an illustration of the Virgo supercluster, which contains around 100,000 galaxies, including our home, the Milky Way. Now, let's zoom out and take a look at the areas here.
Damn.
These are cosmic voids. This particular one here is called Boötes Void, and is one of the largest voids in the known universe.
Wait, so we're right here in one of these dots, but one of the dots is actually like billions of planets. So, or billions of galaxies. So this is the whole, how did they, who the hell went out here and figured out that we had all this? Come on, bro.
Spanning around 330 million light years wide. For perspective, the entire Milky Way galaxy, which is home to at least 100 billion planets, is 100,000 light years wide.
That's our galaxy. It's 100,000 light years.
Number 8, dead galaxies.
Dead
Dead galaxies are
galaxies.
galaxies that have run out of cold hydrogen gas, which is necessary to fuel stars and create new ones. These dead galaxies will be the first to become completely dark and lifeless,
I didn't know
leaving
they could
behind
die.
a cold and lonely cemetery. But for now, these galaxies appear red as they burn through their last remaining energy that they will ever have. Now let's get to the terrifying part. All galaxies, including our own, will eventually run out of energy, and it's hypothesized that the entire universe eventually will as well. A stage that is referred to as the Dark Era, and it's speculated
Wow.
to be the final state of the universe, leaving behind a cold and dark universe where light and energy cease to exist. Number 7,
Damn.
planets. NASA estimates that there are at least 100 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone, and over 6 sextillion planets in the observable universe.
6 sextillion? What the hell is that?
That's 21 zeros, by the way. Not that it even
Thanks.
matters, since none of us could even come close to comprehending that. So instead, people try to visualize this by saying that there are more planets in the known universe than grains of sand on Earth. And for those of you that have never been to the beach, take it from someone who has. We still can't comprehend this number either. Now, we don't have to look far to find some truly terrifying planets, since we have a few of them here in our own solar system.
Really?
But let's just take a look at the scariest one.
I never thought there was planets that were scary, bro. I guess I don't know anything about like the universe and stuff. This is actually teaching me some stuff. If you're learning, shout out to you, but I'm learning too.
Jupiter. This planet is an absolute nightmare, and is
Why?
scary enough to just look at. Jupiter's a giant gas planet that is 1,300 times larger than Earth and is covered in violent storms, as I'm sure you already know. But really quickly, here are just a few of the ways Jupiter would absolutely mop the floor with you. Radiation exposure, dead. Atmospheric pressure, dead. 400 plus mile per hour winds, dead. Struck by lightning, dead. You overheat, dead. You freeze, dead. You decide to breathe, dead. But if Jupiter's not scary enough, our galaxy
You decide to breathe and you're dead on Jupiter. Bro, we're never gonna be able to go to Jupiter, bro. That is sad, bro. I'm pretty sure we're trying to go to Mars or something. That's crazy. I want to go to Mars, dude. Going to a different planet would be so
has
sick.
many other horrific planets to choose from, like planets that constantly rain molten iron or molten glass, planets
Really?
that are entirely covered in ice, planets that are entirely covered in lava, planets that are entirely covered in water, planets that are
Oh.
just completely dark, planets with giant hurricanes the size of Earth. Nope, that's just Jupiter again. I told you that place sucks. Number 6, aliens. Ever since we were young, Hollywood has conditioned us
This dude just said aliens? Oh, aliens.
to be scared of aliens.
The
So it's no
hell?
surprise that this one would end up on the list. Movies like
Aliens are real? I mean, I believe aliens are real, but they're not real in the sense that like they don't look like the green characters or whatever that they always put in the movies and stuff. I think aliens are more like just other creatures.
Alien, Signs, Predator, Cloverfield, The Thing, and of course the GOAT, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, all made aliens incredibly violent and terrifying. And when Hollywood finally attempted to create a friendly and relatable alien, all they got right was his body type. And it definitely worked. Scientists say that it's only a matter of time until we find the existence of aliens. But here's the thing, right? An alien or an extraterrestrial being is simply just something that is living that didn't originate on Earth. So this could be something as small as bacteria, but if
Right.
we're lucky, it could be a fish or mammal-like creature.
Right, that's the thing. Damn, that's like a rat with humongous biceps. He's been in the gym. But yeah, that's the thing. An alien could literally be a bacteria on a different planet. It could literally be a little cell. It could be a little bug. Or it could be, when most people think of aliens, they think of like a whole civilization just like us. But no, it's very unlikely probably that we find that in our like solar system. But dude, like we could probably find some cells and stuff.
But of course, this could be something infinitely more terrifying. And that's what makes this one so scary. We
True.
really don't know what's out there. Now, thankfully, we all know that first impressions are everything. So I'm hopeful that aliens will just take a quick look at Earth's orbit and decide not to visit, since we're obviously
Same.
very dirty. Number
do not
5,
wanna-
gamma ray bursts. Gamma ray bursts are the most powerful explosions in the known universe, releasing more energy in a second than the sun would in a billion years. This can
What?
occur a few different ways, either when a star goes supernova, when two neutron stars collide and form a black hole, or when a black hole swallows a neutron star. These massive bursts of energy are 1,000,000 trillion times brighter than the sun and could
Is that ever gonna happen to Earth?
last anywhere from 10 milliseconds to several hours. Now here's what makes them so scary. The light produced can't be seen by the naked eye. So if Earth were to be hit by one of these powerful gamma ray bursts, we would never see it coming. And depending on
just
how
die.
close the source of the gamma ray burst is, it would determine if life on Earth would survive. At a distance of 6,000 light years, it would cause mass extinction due to the deadly amounts of radiation. But if the gamma ray burst occurred further away but still managed to get a direct hit on us, it could still be catastrophic, since it would heavily damage all of our satellites and technology, shutting down the Wi-Fi. Now, thankfully,
we
Earth
would
is
die.
not really in danger of such an event, since our sun is far too small to produce this type of explosion. Instead, our sun will just grow so large that it slowly swallows the entire planet. Number 4, colliding galaxies. With billions of galaxies traveling
What?
through the universe, some
Galaxies can bump into each other, but what would happen?
are bound to bump into one another. As a
just
matter
said
of
that.
fact, our galaxy will be one of them. The Milky Way is scheduled to crash into our neighboring galaxy, the Andromeda Galaxy. But
Really?
that collision won't be for another 4 to 5 billion years.
Oh.
Hopefully long after humans have left Earth and populated other planets. But let's
Right.
talk about what makes colliding galaxies so scary. As the two galaxies begin to get close to one another,
What's
their
gonna happen?
gravitational pull will bring them together. Now, surprisingly, planets crashing into one another would be extremely rare, since galaxies are mostly empty space. But what would happen is planets would be rearranged and shuffled around, knocking them away from their current solar systems and creating new ones. So any planet with life on it might be stuck with a new neighbor. Here are a few galaxies that are currently merging as we speak. Number 3,
Wow.
super
There are galaxies merging right now. That's crazy. So if there are people on those galaxies, or not even just people, but if there's any life on those galaxies, they're in a merge right now. Oh my gosh, dude, space is crazy.
supernovas. Supernovas are the largest explosions that humans have ever seen. They can outshine their entire galaxy for a few days or even months, and can be seen across the universe. A supernova can occur a couple of different ways. The first one is when a massive star runs out of nuclear fuel and collapses, causing it to go supernova. The second is when a white dwarf star gains enough mass by siphoning it from another nearby star, causing it to collapse and
Why is he drawing these weird ass faces on these planets, bro? What the? This is crazy, bro. What if planets had faces? That would be cool.
explode. But let's talk about what makes supernovas so scary. When a star goes supernova, it obliterates everything in its path and is powerful enough to destroy all life on any planet within 30 to 50 light years. For perspective, our sun is only about 4.2 light hours away from our furthest planet, Neptune. Even though supernovas are one of the most deadly events in the known universe, easily obliterating every living thing in their way, at least they make great screensavers. Number 2, black holes. Black holes are easily one of the most terrifying
Dude.
things in the known universe.
Dude, I've always wondered about black holes. I've always heard about a black hole, but I never understood what it is. Isn't it just like, it's just something that just sucks up stuff and like you don't even know what's on the other side?
It's mostly due to the fact that we don't fully understand how they work. But
just
here's
said
what we
that.
do know. There are 2 different types. The first one is called a stellar mass black hole and is roughly 3 to 1,000 times the mass of our sun. These are created when a large star goes supernova and collapses in on itself, creating a black hole. The second type is a supermassive black hole and can be millions to billions of times the mass of our
What the
sun.
hell?
Also, we have no idea how these black holes are formed. And when I say we, I mean I couldn't find an answer using Google, got frustrated, and just came to the conclusion that the answer simply doesn't exist. But the most common theory I kept seeing is that a black hole must have swallowed another black hole, making it grow much larger. If there's anything I have learned while scripting this video, it's that astronomers and astrophysicists never give a simple answer to anything, so them resorting to the classic answer of, you eat, you grow, is quite comical, since I know firsthand that is not always the case.
Huh. So,
but with that out of the way, let's talk about what makes black holes so terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, for starters, one of these supermassive black holes sits right at the center of our galaxy, gobbling up pieces of the Milky Way as we speak. Another reason why they're so creepy is simply
we have a black hole in our galaxy?
for the fact that they are completely invisible. As I'm sure you know, this is because black holes have a force of gravity so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. So the only way we can see where they are in the universe is by seeing how they interact with their surroundings. But the biggest reason why black holes are so high on the list is simply because we don't know what would happen if you were to enter one.
That's the thing, bro. The craziest thing about black holes is that, like, you just don't know what would happen if you were in a black hole. Like, what's on the other side? Like, what? Oh, it's so deep to think about.
Are they just wormholes? Or would you just get stretched out like a giant piece of spaghetti? I'm not kidding, that's the most agreed upon theory. They call it spaghettification. Or could it be a portal to an alternate dimension? We really don't know. Either way, all of these are absolutely terrifying. Number 1, the size of the universe. Hands down, the most terrifying thing about the universe is its size.
True, bro. Like, people don't really realize how big the universe is. Hopefully he explains it, but even him explaining how big it is, we won't even be able to fathom it. But let's just see, bro. It's so massive.
Just allow me to present my case. Does this image scare you?
No.
What about now? Exactly. Let me show you a few more illustrations before I rest my case. For simplicity's sake, let's start at ground level. This is you. You're probably in your room. Your room is in your home.
Okay.
Your home is here on Earth.
Right.
Earth's home is in our solar system, which has 8 planets. Our
8
solar
whole
system is
planets.
part of the solar interstellar neighborhood, which is part of the Milky Way galaxy, also home to at least 100 billion other planets. The Milky Way galaxy is part of the local galactic group, which is home to 3 other galaxies. The 3 galaxies are all inside of the Virgo supercluster, which has hundreds of galaxies and galaxy clusters. The Virgo supercluster is part of the local superclusters. The local superclusters sit right at the center of the entire observable universe, which spans 93 billion light years wide.
Bro.
But it doesn't end there. This is just what we can see with the current technology we have, and we have no idea how much larger the universe is or if there's even an end to it.
Bro, the universe is literally infinite. It just keeps going. That was nuts.
But of course, this doesn't stop us from speculating on its size or what could potentially be out there. Are there alien civilizations far more advanced than ours?
I mean, there has to be like a civilization out there. Now, they probably don't look like us. They probably look like this. You know, it's very possible. But dude, with all of this space and all of these planets, billion, trillion, quadrillion, million planets, bro. More than that. Like, dude, there's got to be something that's alive, bro. Oh my gosh, that is crazy, bro.
Or alternate reality.
It just makes you realize that, like, nothing matters, bro. If you're scared of something or you're sad, it doesn't matter, bro. You're just on this little floating rock in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's okay.
With infinite possibilities. Or maybe we're all just plugged into a computer, a simulation. After all, would this not be the best time in our known history to simulate? Or maybe Earth is flat and just like birds, space is not real, so none of this really matters. I guess in the end, it turns out that the scariest thing about the universe is not really up in space, but instead lives here inside of our imaginations.
Right, bro. We just have no idea what space is and what the universe is, so that's what's so scary. Hey, this was kind of fun. If you want me to watch some more learning videos, let me know. What's up, dummies? Today we got some more insane, scary space sounds. This video says 18 most scary sounds ever captured in space. We're about to hear what the Big Bang sounds like from space. We're gonna hear what Earth sounds like from space. This is gonna be creepy. Every time we've done this, it's been awesome. Let's try not to get scared. Okay, what is this? This is the center of the Milky Way. Wait, what? So I'm pretty sure we're in the Milky Way galaxy. I don't know much about space, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Earth is in the Milky Way galaxy. This is what it sounds like in our galaxy? Sounds like a Mario Kart sound effect or something. Wing, wing, wing. That is actually dope. This is what it sounds like? Yo, that's cool. Okay, this is what Earth's magnetic field sounds like. It's captured by satellites. Okay, that's weird. Okay,
Let's
we're
start
counting
at the
down.
very beginning, the oldest sound in the universe.
Okay, so this is what the echo of the Big Bang sounds like. I'm pretty sure the Big Bang is how the universe was even created. The Big Bang was a big explosion. That's actually kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's kind of creepy, but let's go to number 17. Okay, this is the roar of a black hole. So we've heard black holes before, but this is the roar of a black hole. Why does it sound like somebody's going like, oh? Y'all hear that? It actually sounds like a human, bruh. It's like, ooh, that's creepy. That's actually creepy. Okay, number 16. These are counting down. They're getting creepier and creepier as we go. Okay, so this is the Vela pulsar star. This is a star that's about to explode. That's what a pulsar star is. It sounds like somebody's smacking their head against a wall or something. Okay, that's kind of creepy. Number 15. Okay, this is Neptune's whistles. Oh, no, this is what it sounds like if you're on Neptune, bro. I'm never going to that planet ever. Okay, number 14. These are actually getting kind of creepy. Okay, this is what Uranus sounds like. Uranus's enigmatic lights. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of creepy, but it's not as creepy as the other ones. Let's see if this gets creepier. Number 13, let's go. Okay, so this is the roar of Jupiter. That's kind of creepy. Imagine you're on Jupiter, right? Imagine you're on the planet, right? And you just hear, like you're looking around. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Number 12, all right. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I think I heard this one before in another video. But this is a comet. This is like a floating space rock. That's what a comet is. It's like a chunk of a planet or something that's floating through the air. It's a bunch of debris or a planet, whatever. But that's what this comet specifically, the 67P, that's what this one sounds like. Oh, nah. That's creepy. Imagine you're in space and you just hear. Yeah, nah, I think there's something, like there has to be some life on that planet or something, because nah, bro. All right, number 11, these are actually getting creepy. Okay, so this is the sound of the sun. Oh, nah. How did they even record this? It says it was captured by NASA's Solar and Heliospheric Observatory through its study of the sun's... Okay, I don't know what any of those words mean. You guys know I'm pretty dumb. But this is what it would sound like if you were near the sun. Yo. Nah, I don't like that, bruh. All right, this is number 10. It's Mars. Dude, honestly, it's kind of creepy. It's creepy because there's nothing going on. Listen. Like, it's just quiet. It seems like something's lurking. Like something's hiding in the background. Okay, number 9. Okay, these are the rings of Saturn. Oh, yeah, something's... Oh, that's kind of creepy. Whoa. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, if you were on the rings of Saturn, nah, bruh. That's creepy. Okay, so this is the Voyager's interstellar sound, which is basically the sound... Oh, God. This is the sound that the interstellar thing was capturing or whatever. I don't really know what any of that means. Number 7, this is the Earth's own plasma chorus. Wait, what? This is what it sounds like in the atmosphere of Earth. What the heck is causing that sound? It sounds like some birds. I actually hear birds. Are there birds in space? What the Okay, number 6. Okay, this is the breath of plasmaspheric hiss. Oh yeah, these are getting creepier. I didn't expect them to get creepier, but these are getting creepier. What is... Yo, it sounds like a bunch of like crystals, like... Oh nah, bro, I would not like that if I heard that. All right, number 5. These are the top 5 scariest sounds ever captured in space. I'm getting scared. Okay, this is Ganymede. Oh yeah, I've heard this one before, the Ganymede. This is the Jupiter's largest moon, apparently. This sound reflects the magnetic field icy hitting at a subsurface ocean. Whatever any of that means, I have no idea. But I am never going to Jupiter, bro. It sounds like somebody's typing like a code. Like they're like, beep, 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 beep. Like somebody's trying to communicate here. That's creepy, bro. I'm never going to Ganymede. Okay, this is Saturn's terrifying radio emissions. This was captured in November 22nd, 2003. That was literally like 3 days before I was born. What the heck? They captured this in Saturn. It sounds like someone's screaming. Do y'all hear that? It's like, "Ah!" Yo, why is there screaming on Saturn, bro? Why is there screaming on Saturn? Okay, number 3. These are the top 3 scariest. I'm getting scared. Okay, yeah, this is the center of the Milky Way. Bro, dude, that's insane to think about how we live here. Like, we live in the Milky Way, and this is what it sounds like. That's actually creepy. Okay, here are the top 2 creepiest sounds ever recorded in space.
When converted into sound, it's an eerie, rising tone, like a distant call that was never meant to be heard.
Okay, so this is number 2. This was a signal that they captured back in the day on one of these planets out here. Oh, nah. Imagine you hear this, bro. This sounds like the inside of a McDonald's, bro, when you just keep getting orders over and over. Beep, 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 beep. What the hell? Okay, number 1. I'm actually scared of this. Okay, the scariest one. Yeah. Black holes. So this is what it sounds like when 2 black holes are colliding. Normally, black holes don't swallow each other. They swallow everything else. But when 2 black holes swallow each other, this is what happens.
What they sound like.
What the Yo, nah. Okay, guys, I'm back. My house literally burnt down, so I had to go to my friend's house to keep recording this video, but I'm back. I changed my shirt too, but we're gonna keep watching some scary sounds. We'll talk about my house later in a different video. But this is what it sounds like if neutron stars collide with each other. It says use earphone. That's so stupid. It's earphones. What is that actually? Okay, I'm actually scared. Wait. What is? Ah, nah. What the? That was insanely creepy, bro. I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, let's go to the next one. We already seen the Big Bang before, so I skipped past this, but let's see what the next one is. Interstellar mediums. Make sure you guys got headphones on or you're putting your phone right up to the camera. I'll shut up. What is an interstellar medium? Subscribe. Oh yeah, if y'all want me to talk about how my house burnt down, I'll do it in the next video or whatever, but yeah, I'm gonna be here for now, so. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the most disturbing planets ever found. This shows a bunch of different planets. What the hell is that one? Is that actually a planet that looks like a skull? But we're about to figure out some crazy stuff about some crazy planets that we never heard of.
HD
Try not to get scared, let's go.
1888753AB.
Huh?
HD 1888753AB.
This dude, there's a planet named HD 188. That's so stupid. Let's figure out what this is.
If you were standing on the surface of this planet, you would witness something that seems impossible. The sun would set over the horizon, only to be immediately followed by a second sun and then a third one. This planet is the first one ever reported in a tight triple star system, meaning that it has not 1, not 2, but 3 suns.
This thing got 3 suns. You know how awesome it would be to live there, bro? I love the sun. I go outside, I get tan. That's why everyone says I look like a tomato, because I sit outside in the sun. Imagine if we had 3 suns, bro. That's dope.
More specifically, there is a main yellow star, very similar to our own sun. And then, orbiting nearby are 2 smaller stars that—
How is this disturbing, though? He said this is the most disturbing planets. Is he clickbaiting us? If he clickbaited, I'm clickbaiting. I don't care. I'm keeping the same title. That's what I do. Let's see if this gets disturbing.
Around each other, both circling the main yellow star. If you could survive on a hypothetical moon orbiting this giant, your shadow would split into 3 different directions, and true darkness might never come as the different suns took turns lighting up the sky. Its existence also raised an unsolved scientific mystery. The planet itself is a gas giant, slightly heavier than Jupiter, and it's so close to its stars that it completes a full lap around the main one in just 3.5 days. It's this proximity that creates the unsolved problem. According to the rules of how planets form, gas giants are supposed to grow far away from their stars in cold areas.
Okay, this guy's just rambling, bro. Let's go to the next one.
HD 80,660.
But why are these planets named HD 1080? Where are these numbers? Who's naming this stuff? All right, let's see if this one's disturbing.
This planet is also known as the Whiplash planet, and you'll soon understand why. Here, the weather can go from freezing cold to an explosion of extreme heat within hours. That's
Dude,
because while
insane.
most planets, including Earth, travel in a nice, steady circle around their star, this
Right.
planet follows a path that is incredibly stretched out, looking
That's
more like the orbit of a
stupid.
comet than a planet. For about 100 days, it drifts far away from its sun, floating in the freezing cold darkness. But then
What?
it begins a terrifying dive. In a span of just 20 hours, it blasts toward its star, swings around it at a dangerously close distance, and then slingshots back out into the void. This close approach is violent. The planet gets so close that if the Earth were in that position, our atmosphere would be ripped away and the surface would be instantly melted into magma.
Bro, so this planet, he said for like 120 days, it's just frozen. And then like in 20 hours, it just goes, room, and it just gets super hot. What's wrong with that planet,
For this
bro?
planet, the approach acts like a sudden explosion of energy. In just 6 hours, the temperature on the side facing the star skyrockets from roughly 932 degrees Fahrenheit to over 2,000. The star
What the
blasts the
fu-
planet with more than 1,000 times the
Yeah,
energy the Earth
imagine
receives
if
from
you
the sun.
lived
If
there,
you were
bro.
floating in the cloud tops, you would watch the sun swell up rapidly until it looked 30 times larger than it does in our sky.
my
This
God.
sudden flash frying triggers what scientists call shockwave storms. Because the heat hits so fast, the atmosphere cannot handle it, and winds erupt from the hot zone at speeds
Bro,
of
yeah,
11
you do not want to be on that planet, bro.
PSRB 1257
Okay, I wanna see this one.
plus 12.
What the fuck? The name is PSRB 1257 plus 12. Who the hell added 12 at the end of the name, dude? Okay, I gotta see if this planet is actually a bunch of skulls. That would be so creepy, dude.
Astronomers named this star and its planets after monsters and the undead, and for good reason.
What?
The central star, named Lich, after a fictional creature that uses magic to control the dead, is a pulsar, which is a type of neutron star that acts like a lighthouse in space.
What?
It spins incredibly fast, rotating about 160 times every single second. It is also incredible.
This planet spins 160 times a second. What the Imagine you were on that planet, bro. It'd be like the best roller coaster ever. You just...
with temperatures reaching nearly
Oh my God.
52,200 degrees Fahrenheit.
This planet is 52,000 degrees hot? I thought the other one was hot when he said 2,000 degrees. Dude, imagine whenever you like cook a pizza in the oven, it's like 400 degrees. And then when you grab the pizza, you know how the heat is just like, when it's like, oh my God, that's hot as hell. And you gotta shut the oven. This is 51,800 more than a pizza.
Orbiting it are 3 planets that were the
God.
very first exoplanets ever confirmed, discovered back in the early 90s. To help you understand why they're called zombie planets, here's what would
Wait,
happen
what?
if you stood on one. You would be bathed in constant deadly radiation from the star that sterilizes everything.
Oh my God, that's what would happen to your face if you were on this planet? You just like lose all your skin? Why do they call it zombie planets?
Looking up at the sky would be maddening. Since the star spins so fast while shooting out beams of energy, it would not look like a steady sun. It would look like a violent strobe light flashing 160 times a second, lighting up the alien landscape in a rapid fire pulse. These planets are basically zombies themselves. They likely formed from the debris left over after 2 white dwarf stars crashed into each other and merged billions of years ago. Trez 2b.
Huh? Okay,
Trez
what?
2b is
That
a gas
looks
and merged
dope.
billions of years ago. Trez 2b.
This is the coolest looking one we've seen so far. If I was on a planet that looked like this, bro, that would be fire. All right, let's see what's disturbing about
Trez
this
2b is a gas giant similar in size to Jupiter, but it looks nothing like the planets in our own system. In 2011, astronomers identified it as the darkest exoplanet ever discovered. This
Really?
alien world is basically pitch black, reflecting
Dude,
less than
that is dope. A pitch black planet, dude?
1% of the light that falls on it. This makes it darker than a piece of coal or even black acrylic paint. What makes this
What?
more disturbing
How could something be blacker than black paint? That means it's blacker than we
is
even
that we're not
know.
100% sure of why it's this dark. Nonetheless, we know that it's so close to its star that the temperature on the surface is over 1,790 degrees Fahrenheit. This intense heat means that reflective clouds made of ammonia simply cannot form. Instead, the atmosphere is likely filled with light-absorbing chemicals like vaporized sodium,
Vaporized sodium
and potassium, or
and potassium? What? Imagine the clouds on our Earth was a bunch of potassium and salt. Like bananas and salt in the clouds. What the hell?
gaseous titanium oxide. However, even these chemicals cannot fully explain why the planet is as black as it is.
Yeah,
and the
why
true
is it so
cause
black?
remains a mystery. If you were to float near it, though, you likely wouldn't see a totally black sphere. Since the planet is so hot, it emits a faint and dim red glow. It would look like
Wow.
a giant burning ember or the hot coils of an electric stove floating in the void. WASP 17b. WASP
hell?
17b, also called Ditso,
Is this called wasp because there's a bunch of wasps on the planet that come and sting you?
a
That'd be
name from
fire.
Talamancan mythology referring to
Huh?
a god who gave names to the first people, is one of the weirdest planets in space. Two things make this planet pretty peculiar. One is that it was the first discovered planet with a retrograde orbit. In almost every
What
star
the hell
system
does
we
that
observe,
mean?
planets travel around their star in the same direction that the star itself spins. However, Ditso moves in the completely opposite direction. This discovery shocked scientists because it challenged the traditional rules of how planets form, suggesting that this world had a violent history. Astronomers believe it
What?
may have been thrown into this
How could a planet have a violent history?
backward loop after a near collision with another planet or a gravitational struggle that flung it off its original path. The second thing is that despite the planet being a huge monster, being almost twice as wide as Jupiter, thus making it one of the largest planets
It's
ever
huge.
found, it's incredibly light, with just half of Jupiter's mass. This makes it extremely puffy, with a density so low that if you could find a bathtub big enough to hold it, the entire planet would float on water like a beach ball. However, this planet isn't innocuous. Its atmosphere
Who the hell figured that out? That if you put the planet in a bathtub, it would float. How do you know for sure? Y'all just making stuff up.
is a nightmare of heat and glass, and in 2023, the James Webb Space Telescope detected clouds made of quartz. Because the planet is scorching
Wow.
hot, with temperatures around 2,700 degrees
Dude, that's nothing compared to 50,000, that last planet. Dude, 2,000 is nothing.
Fahrenheit, these crystals form directly from gas. WASP 127b.
Why are all these things called wasp, bro? I hate wasps.
Here of this planet is being ripped around at speeds that break every planetary record we know. On here, winds scream around the equator at up to 20,500 miles per hour, fast enough to cross Earth from one side to the other in well under an hour. This is the fastest jet stream ever measured on a planet. Also, that wind is incredibly hot. The planet is a gas giant that's close enough to its star that 1 year is just 4 days, and its atmosphere
1 year is 4 days, bro. So if people lived on that planet, they could be like, oh, what's up? How old are you? And then they'd be like, 5,000 years old because they've been, oh my
atmosphere
God.
is around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Astronomers discovered these winds by watching.
Imagine
how
having a 19,845th birthday. That would be dope to live on that planet where you get birthday party every 4 days.
starlight passes through the planet's atmosphere during a transit. Part of the gas was moving toward us, part moving away, both at enormous speed. The only explanation that fits is a powerful supersonic jet stream racing around the equator. These winds move almost 6 times faster than the planet itself rotates. For comparison, the fastest winds ever measured in our own solar system on Neptune are only about 1,100 miles
That's
per
still
hour.
fast
On
as
WASP
hell.
127b, that would count as a gentle breeze. The planet's weather is not uniform either. Observations show that the poles are cooler than the rest of the planet, and there is even a measurable temperature difference between the morning side and the evening side. Gliese,
Okay.
430
Okay, this is the one I wanted to see low key, bro. That looks stupid. What is that? It kind of looks cool, actually, now that I think about it. Looks like a meatball, dude, with a bunch of white stuff in it. Oh, God.
36b. The phrase hot burning ice sounds like a paradox, but
What?
strange as it sounds, it's actually happening on
Hot
Gliese
ice?
436b. This planet is also known as Awahali, which is the Cherokee word for eagle. The name is perfect because of a legend where an eagle flies to the sun and the sun kisses its tail feather. That is exactly what is happening here
What?
because the star is blasting the planet with so much radiation that it has created a gigantic cloud of hydrogen gas trailing behind it. This tail is longer than 8 million miles, making the planet look more like a colossal comet. It is losing its air at a terrifying rate because it sits dangerously close to the star.
Wait, so what's going to happen whenever it loses all of its air? Is it going to explode?
Only about 3% of the distance between Earth and the Sun. Also, while the planet is roughly the size of Neptune, it behaves in a way that breaks the rules of a normal solar system. Instead of circling around the middle or equator of the star like a normal planet, it travels over the star's poles, moving in a
The
nearly
hell?
vertical, perpendicular loop.
It's just
It is
having
literally
fun.
orbiting sideways compared to how it should be. The paradox we talked about previously is because while the temperature is around 820 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt lead, scientists believe the interior might be made of hot ice. The gravity and pressure are so crushing that water is squeezed
What the
into a
hell
solid
is
state,
hot
even though it is
ice?
burning hot. The atmosphere is also chemically wrong, filled with carbon monoxide instead of the methane that models predict should be there. Astronomers believe this planet did not start out this way. It is likely that a hidden, massive companion planet pushed it out of its safe orbit and
What?
threw it into this dangerous path, forcing it to be slowly eaten alive by its own star while the culprit hides in the dark. KOI 55. KOI 55 is a
That just
planet
looks
that
like the
survived
sun.
the impossible, being eaten alive. It orbited a
Huh?
star known as a subdwarf B star, which was so hot that it burned nearly 6 times hotter than the sun. Then, 18
Damn.
million years ago, this star expanded even more and turned into a red giant. When this happened, KOI 55 didn't just get close to the burning star, but it actually plunged deep inside the star's layers.
Wait, what happens if a planet eats another planet? Because I used to play a game called like Agario, where like if you were like a circle and you tried to eat other circles. What happens if a planet gets eaten by another planet?
Was basically eaten alive, swallowed whole by a massive ball of plasma. The star stripped away and evaporated all the gas, but something weird happened. Most planets would be completely destroyed immediately, but this one survived. Nowadays, only its burnt and
Damn,
rocky core
that's a
remains.
crazy
and to make you
story to
understand
tell.
how badly the star scorched the planet, even after millions of years, its temperature is still around 12,000 degrees Fahrenheit. If you were to teleport to the surface, you would likely vaporize into a cloud of atoms faster than your brain could process that you had arrived. The planet is now smaller than Earth and orbits its star incredibly fast, completing a full year in less than 6 hours.
Every 6 hours is a full year? What the bro, so you would like wake up, you know, do your dishes, do your work, and then you would be 3 years older by the time you go to sleep. What the
LTT 9779b.
What?
You are probably used to thinking
That's
of
the
clouds as
weirdest
being
name.
white, vaporous, and fluffy, but the clouds on this planet are made of metal and glass. This
Metal clouds, bro. I'm never going there in my life, bro. Imagine looking up and it's just straight metal in the
planet
sky.
is officially named Quankoa, also known as the Mirror Planet. That's because
What?
it's actually the most reflective planet ever discovered. Due to those clouds, it acts like a massive mirror in space, bouncing back about
Oh my
73%
God,
of all
it
the light
is a
that hits it.
mirror.
It's also the reason why telescopes struggle to detect specific signals from deep within the planet.
Because it just bounces back because it's a mirror, bro. So you can't even see what's on the planet because it's just a mirror. It's just going to mirror back what's...
As its metal-dense atmosphere acts like a metallic blanket. It's roughly the size of Neptune, but it is nothing like the cold blue giants in our...
So nobody knows what's actually underneath that planet because when we look at it, it just is a mirror. But under the mirror could be something crazy. What if there was an advanced civilization on that planet who built the mirror outside of their planet so then nobody would even see them? Because you know, sometimes in like police buildings, they have like a mirror, right? There'll be a mirror on the wall, but really, on the other side of the mirror, they can see you, but you'd think it's a mirror. Creepy stuff.
Quankoa is what scientists call an ultra-hot Neptune because it sits dangerously close to its star. In fact, it is so close that it finishes a full orbit in less than 24 hours, and the star is basically cooking the planet alive.
Don't we complete a full orbit in 24 hours? Am I tripping?
Temperatures on
Let
the
me know in
side
the comments.
facing the star soar to over 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's
Matter of
nothing
fact,
compared to
this
that
planet
one.
should not have existed in the first place. It
Why?
lies in what astronomers call the Neptunian Desert, a region close to a star where planets of this size
They got a
usually cannot
desert?
survive because intense radiation strips away their atmosphere. However, since Quankoa's atmosphere is this heavy with metals, it does not puff out effectively. Fomalhaut B. Dagon.
What the? I said the last one was the weirdest name. Fomalhaut B. Dagon. That's a planet? That's dope.
Imagine discovering a new planet, taking a picture of it, and naming it, only to watch it slowly fade away
Who
until
the
it
hell named it, bro?
completely vanishes into the darkness. This
It
is the story of
disappeared?
Fomalhaut B, also known as Dagon, a planet just 25 light years away, making it the closest one featured in this video. When astronomers using the Hubble Space Telescope announced its discovery in 2008, it was a historic moment because it was one of the very first planets to be seen directly in a photograph. Usually, planets are found
They took
indirectly
a
by looking at
picture
how
of
a
that?
star wobbles or dims, but this one was caught on camera as a tiny dot of light moving through a ring of debris. However, as scientists continued to watch it over the years, the planet started doing things that made no sense. It was
Started
not glowing with
disappearing.
heat like a massive planet should, and instead of staying on a stable path, it appeared to be drifting away from its star. By 2014, the dot had faded so much that it was gone. A study published in 2020 finally solved the mystery.
the hell does that
Fomalhaut
piece of
B
paper
was
say?
never a planet at all. all. It was actually a massive, expanding cloud of fine dust created by a cosmic crash. Two giant icy asteroids, each about 120 miles wide, had likely smashed into each other at incredibly high speeds just before the first photos were taken.
So it was never a planet the whole
The
time?
bright spot astronomers
Y'all
saw
got
was the debris from this
scammed by a
explosion
planet.
spreading out into space. Kelt 9b.
Huh?
670 light years away from us,
Wait,
there's a
did I just see? Wait, look at the
space.
next one, bro.
Kelt 9b.
This thing got sad face. How does the next one have a sad face? The name is PSOJ 13.5 - 22. I would be sad too if that was my name. All right, let's watch this. I want to see what that last one is.
670 light years away from us, there's a gas giant that is 3 times heavier than Jupiter, and it's so hot that even molecules like water and carbon dioxide get
I don't give a damn
scattered
about this
there.
planet, bro.
The star
I
will
want to see the
expand
one with the
into
sad
radiation.
face.
PSOJ 318.5-22. This is what's called a rogue planet, and the sun never rises here. That's because there's actually no sun at all. PSOJ
What?
318.5-22 is one of the loneliest places in space.
Aw.
Unlike the Earth, which circles the sun, or Jupiter, which circles its own star, this massive object does not orbit anything. It was likely kicked
just
out of its
by
home
itself?
system shortly after it formed, or perhaps it formed all by itself, leaving it to float forever in the empty void between stars. You might think that a planet without a star would be a frozen ball of ice, but this world is
Yeah.
actually a burning furnace. It is roughly the size of Jupiter, but it is much heavier, packing 8 times as much mass into the same space. Because it
Strong-ass
is very
planet.
young in cosmic terms, only about 23 million years old.
23 million years old? That's young? Psh, yeah, right.
It still glows with the intense heat from its creation. Telescopes have watched the planet change brightness, which tells scientists that it is covered in thick, stormy clouds that rotate around the planet every few hours.
How do you know that, though? How do you know that? I mean, it makes sense that there's a bunch of storms there. It's basically the planet is crying, dude. That's what the rain is, bro. It's the world crying. Because this planet has no friends. There's no one near it. I feel bad.
However, these are not clouds made of water vapor. They are made of hot dust and molten metal. Recent studies using the James Webb Space Telescope suggest that the highest clouds are made of tiny grains of quartz or sand. Deeper down, there are heavy clouds made of liquid iron.
Liquid iron clouds and sand clouds. That's the dumbest planet ever. No wonder it's crying. That's so crazy. What's up, dummies? So a couple of months ago, I made a ton of videos reacting to like the scariest space sounds and like creepy things recorded in space, but I haven't done it in a while just because I haven't really seen the videos. But this just released 3 days ago, ranking black hole sounds by how scary they are. I didn't know that black holes made sounds, but we're gonna find out the scariest sounds that black holes make. We're gonna rank them based on how creepy they are. This is always a ton of fun. Let's go. All right, here we go. The first one is Centaurus A. Apparently this guy ranked it a 10 out of 10. So we're gonna see his rankings. We're gonna give our own rankings too. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, this is a 10 out of 10. Shut up, you know what I mean? I'm gonna see how I feel about these. Let's go. Okay, right away we're starting off with something very creepy. It sounds like people are screaming. It sounds like imagine going outside, like in this black hole, and then hearing this. Now, the crazy thing, like the creepy thing about this is we don't even know what black holes are. Like in science, we don't know what it is. What happens if you go through a black hole? We have no idea. So that's creepy. I honestly would give this a 10, but the video just started. So I'm gonna give that an 8. We're gonna just set that as an 8 right now. Also, comment down below what you guys think of all these. Give me your rankings too. What do you think that was? Let's go. Perseus A, it sounds like hell. Okay, yeah. I don't know how he didn't give this one a 10. You can literally like hear people, bro. Like you can hear people going like, "Rah." That does sound like hell. I'm actually creeped out, bro. And why does it look like that? Like that's creepy, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to give that a 9. I think I'm gonna give that a 9. I think this is creepier than the last one, but I don't think it's a 10. I think a 10 would be like, oh my God, you know, I think we might get to that later in this video. But I think this is number 1 so far. It's a 9 out of 10. M87, this sounds magical. Wow. That's what this black hole sounds like? So the thing with this video is I'm pretty sure these people like went to black holes or they sent like sonar, like, okay, I'm using my phone for example, but they sent like a sonar thing up into the space and then recorded audio and then brought back. Bro, we need to go to this. M87, we need to go to this freaking black hole and see what it is. It's probably like a magical land, bro. What the? This is beautiful. Why did he rank 2 out of 10? What do you mean 2 out of 10 on the scariness scale? That's a 0. That's -5 out of 10. This is freaking beautiful. I feel like I'm about to get copyrighted. This has to be some type of music. This is beautiful. I like it. It's not creepy at all. That's a negative 20 out of 10. I love that. Sagittarius A. 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Ugh. I just can't believe that you go to these black holes and this is what it sounds like. Like Earth has like a sound like when you go outside, it's just kind of like birds chirping and stuff like that. That's what kind of Earth sounds like. But these places sound so crazy. I'm gonna give this a 7. I'm gonna agree with, no, I'm gonna give them a 6. It's creepy, but it's not like, you know? Okay, this one, ton 618. This terrifies me, he says. You know, it's kind of creepy. A 9 out of 10 is a stretch. I'm pretty sure you guys agree with me. This is like a 6. It's kind of like, oh my god, what's going on? But it's nothing like the other ones. The other ones were way creepier, but I think it's gonna get creepier as this video goes on, so I need to prepare myself. This is a 6 out of 10. Make sure you guys are leaving your ratings too, because I want to see what you guys think of these. Because the crazy thing about us is like, we think things are different, bro. Like, he thinks this is a 9 out of 10. I think it's a 6. You know, you might think this is a 0. You might not be scared by this. Okay, Quasar. 9 out of 10. Sounds like an engine. This is what it sounds like on this planet? Or on this black hole? I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna give that an 8. It's creepier than I thought at first. It's pretty creepy. This is pretty creepy, I can't lie. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for sure. Like that little it sounds like somebody's like hammering something. Like, are people building houses in this black hole? Sounds like a freaking like motorcycle. It's speeding up. Okay, that's actually getting creepy. Oh god. Yeah, that's actually creepy. Yeah, I don't like that one. Okay, this is what it sounds like when two black holes collide with each other. Okay, I think I've heard this before. Ooh, okay, this guy said 3 out of 10. I don't agree. I think that, honestly, let me listen to it again. Nah, that's gonna be like a 6 out of 10. It's not 3. SS433. I could fall asleep to this. No way this is what this black hole sounds like. SS433 sounds like this? This is beautiful! Oh my god, it's getting better. Dude, that sounds like a Mario Kart track. Like Rainbow Road. I hear water too. What the? This guy's gotta be making this stuff up. Is this guy legit? Okay, I actually think this guy is legit. I went to his channel to see, and he like posts about like a bunch of space stuff, and he gets a good amount of views. So yeah, we even watched some of his videos before, it seems like. You see how I have the red bar? So I guess this guy's legit. This is insane. How have I never heard this? It's like the best sound I've ever heard. I gotta replay it. Listen to this. How could anybody be scared of that? Okay, I'm gonna make it my life mission to visit SS433 black hole in my lifetime, because I gotta see what that is. Okay, this one's called Maxi J182. Oh my god. If you guys have headphones on, you'll hear that it's going side to side. Do y'all hear that? If not, if you're just listening to your phone or your TV, try to hear it going from side to side of the TV. What the? How is this only a 5 out of 10, bro? This is actually like an 8 to me. Also, the name of it, Maxi J18220 plus 70. Like, how did they even get that name? And it looks like this? Nah, that's actually creepy. That's like 8. V404 Cygni. Not scary, just calm. He gave this a 3 out of 10. That looks creepy though. This is what it sounds like on the black hole? How do people like, how does it sound like this? Why does Earth not have any music? I mean, I guess Earth does have its music. I mentioned this before. When you go outside, like you'll hear birds chirping, you'll hear the wind. I guess that's some type of music, but this actually genuinely sounds like music. Like it sounds like somebody's playing an instrument. That's crazy. Are we sure that there's not people stuck in these black holes? Like, aliens or maybe even former humans? Like, are we sure that they're not just playing music? GW250114, 7 out of 10. Okay, well, right away, before we even listen to it, what is that? That is creepy. I don't care what it sounds like. That's already creepy. Like, why does it look like that? But let me give it a rating. That's creepy. That's actually creepy. I'm gonna give that a 7 as well. That's actually kind of like weird. All right, we got a few more different ones. These are what Saturn's rings sound like. He says it's 1 out of 10. I can fall asleep to this. I guess that is nice. Proxima Centauri B, 7 out of 10. Sounds like a massive ship. It does. That's really kind of creepy. I'm gonna give that a 7. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with him. 7. That's like, actually no, I'm gonna give it an 8. It sounds like something's growling. You hear that? It's like, yeah, I'm never going to this planet or whatever this is. I do not care. Phoebe, 2 out of 10, looks scary but sounds broken. Is this some type of like planet, like the moon? Oh nah. Star KIC 122682220C. Nah, this is a 9. I think this is our first 9. What the? Uranus sounds like this? A bunch of wind? What's going on in Sweeps 04? This one's actually scary. What is this? What is this planet? Is this just a white planet? That sounds like this? Nah. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's the creepiest planet ever. I really don't like that.